y'all, it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Adventure Palette by Game Beauty. Now, this is the first release from the brand, so we're going to go in depth and talk about my thoughts on it. Okay, so as you can see, the outside of the packaging is absolutely adorable. The girl, Jamie, who owns the brand, is into all different kinds of gaming, which I think is kind of fun. My husband is more into gaming than I am. The only games I really play are, I like puzzle games like Candy Crush and stuff like that. And then I can play like Mario, The Sims, and Animal Crossing. But I also still like versions of Final Fantasy where it's turn-based. I can play. A lot of other versions of games I'm not very good at. I don't have a lot of hand-eye coordination. So this is what the outside of the palette looks like. There are 10 shades. It has a 24-month shelf life, and it is cruelty-free. So I do like how the packaging looks, and I do love how thin it is. That is nice for storage. So when you open her up, it looks like this. There is a mirror in here, and there are 10 shades. I think I already said that. But you see, it's got the greens. I had to purchase this to test it out. Plus, I love testing any new indie makeup. So we're gonna start off by swatching just like we normally do, and then we're going to test it out. So the first shade is Treasure, which is this yellow right here. Oh, that's a pretty shimmer. Then we have Boss. So I think each palette's gonna be based on a separate type of game, if that's what I remember reading correctly. Stealth. EXP. So we have Treasure, Boss, Stealth, EXP. Didn't swatch terribly, but again, swatches don't tell us the whole story, and I say that all the time because a swatch will only tell you half. Sometimes things swatch beautifully and then they perform terribly, and vice versa. So then we've got Level Up, but the mattes do feel nice and soft. ATK, I think that stands for attack. Dungeon, and Heal. Now, Heal is a pressed glitter, and I have touched that one before because when I opened the palette up on Instagram, I had to touch that. So here is Level Up. Then we have ATK. Oh, that's pretty. Dungeon and Heal. See, and for the most part, because I rubbed with the top of my finger, that pressed glitter does transfer really well. But remember, pressed glitters are not eye safe, so use on your eyes at your own risk. Now, you already know I'm going to use it on my eyes. I cannot help it. Then we have Maze and Ruins. Maze, Ruins. Okay, so that is what all 10 of the swatches look like. It is a very, very pretty palette. I think that this is going to be pretty darn cute. So we shall see. Let's go ahead and put on some of my mouse ears. These were a cheap, actually I didn't pay anything for them. They were free off of Wish because I ordered a bunch of Disney stuff off of Wish before one of our trips. And I actually really like these because they're nice and thin and lightweight. Now the ones from Disney, like actually from Disney World or from Disneyland, are quite heavy in comparison, and you want to stretch those babies out because if you wear them all day at the parks, they will give you a headache if you do not prepare. Okay, so I already have my eyeshadow primer on. I used the Gerard Clean Canvas Eye Base. So, as you can imagine, greens are my favorite, so we are going to do a green eyeshadow look. So we're gonna start off with the shade EXP, which is that lime green. I think that'll work as a transition shade. And just go ahead and blend that out. And when I'm doing these types of videos, I do like to do these live where I'm not like sitting here editing a bunch of stuff, because you can see if I struggle or what's going on with it. So far that looks pretty nice. It is a buildable coverage because the first coat, as you can see, it didn't put much pigmentation down, but as I'm building it up, it is applying smoothly and no patchiness, which is always a plus. See if I can fold this back to make it easier to hold. And I am not one, like I don't care if a palette has a mirror in it. That is definitely not one of something that'll make me purchase a palette or not. And you know, I love, love, love supporting small indie brands. And again, this is the first release from them. And I think it's such an unusual concept. And I haven't seen anybody else review it so far. But I saw it on Instagram and I was like, greens? Yes, give it to me. But yeah. And that is performing pretty well. So just keep blending till you get the desired pigmentation. Now, yeah, it does look like that. I mean, this isn't like a true limey green. It's just like a lighter version of grass green, like a spring green almost. Okay. Next we're gonna go, oh, and if you notice on Stealth, it is a duochrome. It's that green brown kind of duochrome. So let's see if I can show you. See how it changes? Very, very pretty. So now we're gonna dip into Level Up and see if we can deepen up that crease. I'm gonna swap brushes. I need a BK Beauty 202. If I can find one that isn't dirty. I need to wash my brushes again. I've gotten so reliant on the BK Beauty brushes that those are like my favorites to use all the time now. So now we're gonna go, this is BK Beauty 202. We're gonna go into the shade Level Up. And this is a shape of brush that see it picks up nicely on the brush. This is a shape that I really like to use to deepen up the crease because it really gets in there. And oh yeah, see how that pigmentation? And this is more of an emerald green instead of a true Kelly. So if you look at this color, it has a little bit more of a blue base than straight green. That's why I say emerald versus Kelly. So let's go ahead and continue deepening up. So far, these are performing well. Which is always, always, always a plus. And again, I bought and paid for this myself. That's typically how makeup goes, which is fine. I'm gonna take my 201 again and really go over it lightly to make sure everything's blended together. That looks really pretty. Okay. Now, I want to deepen up the outer crease. And as you can see, most of the colors in here are, the 6 out of the 10 are shimmers. And I think I'm going to stay away from the Ruin shade today, even though I really love Tiffany Blue. I just don't think that that's going to go really well with my eye look, honestly. So I'm going to go into, this is a BK Beauty 205. I love this dense angled brush. It is great for the outer corner. So we're gonna go in right there and deepen that up. Now, one thing I will say about the shimmers are most of them are not the most impactful. They're not like my favorite formula shimmers. They're not like super mirrory. You know what I mean? Like the super reflective shimmers, which I tend to like, but they do have a nice smooth formula. So the good thing about a shimmer like that is it does work really well on the eyelid without showing texture. So as you can see, we're kind of swamping it up because mixing this brown and the green, it kind of makes it have more of that dirty olive kind of feel. So there we go. So what games do y'all like playing? Do y'all like playing video games? So typically on my phone, I have the Disney emoji game. If I want, those are like the mindless games that I play if I'm like stuck at the doctor's office, or like Candy Crush. I used to really love the Final Fantasy series, but as they've taken away the turn-based option of it, it makes it hard for me because I do not have very good hand-eye coordination. But Tetris was a game that I am excellent at. Puzzle games, like I just see patterns. I don't know why. Patterns are my thing. And nobody plays trivia with me in my house because I beat everybody. That and Monopoly. But hand me a game like Call of Duty or anything like that where I have to shoot people. I am the worst. So I really like how this is looking so far. But yeah. That is what it's like. And everybody else in my household besides me is into video games. Now, I still do love The Sims. Like, I still have The Sims 4 on my computer. I don't play it as often as I should, but that is still one of my favorites. But honestly, whenever I play The Sims, I cheat and use the cheat code Motherload to get a bunch of money because I really don't ever play the game. I like building houses in it and decorating houses. And I also like building Sims. Like, those are the things I like to do in the Sims game. But I feel like as they made it where Sims and stuff age and there's more tasks to do, it made it a little bit harder, and I like easy games. So now we're gonna go into that pressed glitter heel. And what I just put all over my eye is the Too Faced glitter primer. Glitter glue. Whatever. That's really pretty. But yeah, you know, if there's a pressed glitter, I will always tend to go for a pressed glitter because I love a pressed glitter. I know a lot of people don't, but for me, I don't mind. That turned out really pretty. What do you think? I really like how that looks. Okay, I'm gonna take my 201 and just kind of go over the edge just to make sure nothing looks super harsh. I'm gonna take and use that 203 again and go back into the shade Dungeon and make sure it's blended together really well. Without squinching my eye too much. That looks really pretty. So far, I'm really, really impressed. Okay, so now I'm going to take off my eye tapes. What do you think so far? I think it looks super duper pretty. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line and talk about my thoughts on this palette. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette in Diffused Edit. This has the diffused light powder in it, the Euphoric Fusion brush and luminous bronzer or bronze light. So I used that on my face, and then for highlighter, I used the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. Isn't that just I love that highlighter. I keep going back and reusing it. And then on my lips, I used the Propa Beauty lipstick in the shade Finesse. This is like my favorite nude. It is so good. And then I did take and use some color in my waterline. I used the Teaspoon one by ColourPop. So what I think I'm gonna do is, because I want to try to use a couple of the shimmers that are in here. Drop my eyelash glue. So what I want to do is try to use a couple of the shimmers in here on my lower waterline. So this is a BK Beauty 203, and I want to go into the shade Stealth, which is like that greeny blue or greeny brown. and use that first underneath my eye. So see, that applies some color. And just kind of blend that out. Because I want to try to use as many colors as possible. But I will say that I am really liking this. That looks really pretty. Okay, so I like how that's looking. And then I'm going to go into the shade Maze, which is just more that emerald green shimmer, and apply that under. And now I'm going to take, this is my BK Beauty 201 that I used on the top, and really go in and diffuse it all. Because y'all know, I like to have the Uncle Fester under eyes because it helps hide my wrinkles. But I don't want it to be unblended because I think blending is key. And I am wearing false lashes. I'm wearing the same ones I wear all the time, which is the Eyelure Accent number 5s. So I'm going to take, this is the BK Beauty 207 brush, which is like their pencil brush. I'm spraying that with a little bit of the Color Pop Pretty Fresh setting spray, and I'm dipping it into the shade Treasure, that yellow shade. I think that'll work as a really pretty inner corner. Oh, that does. It blends well with all the greens I used. Because who doesn't love a good green eye look? And to me, I think that is what the standout of this palette is. So, to add a little bit of mascara to my lower lash line. This is the Wonder Beauty Mile High Club. And let's talk about the palette. This is the completed look. What do you think? I think it is stunning. So, I used 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the 10 shades. And even though I didn't use Boss, I can still tell you that is beautiful. Our ATX or ATK, look how pretty that is. I mean, that is just beautiful. And Ruins, I mean, I can still tell you that the palette is so good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I like how it performed. I like the way that it looks on my eyes. The pressed glitter is staying in place. I mean, look, you can see that I do not have glitter fallout all over my face, which is a, you want to see a pressed glitter that stays in place even when you're using a glitter glue, because there are some glitters that I've tried that are too thick that even when you use it with a glitter glue, it falls everywhere. So yeah, if you're looking for a palette, I would recommend checking this out. I think it's really good. But if you don't need any green eyeshadows in your life, then you can probably skip over it. But if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And for the month of December, I'm trying to post every single day. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.